Yeah, Wednesday. What's up, everybody? Wednesday morning edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had a phenomenal day yesterday, as we're going to do what we do each and every day, identifying breakouts and reversals in our four major markets, and then talk about our stock of the day. So let's go ahead and get started with the big picture. So the ES this morning, we're down about 3 points. We're just going to kick your day off right, hopefully. But when we look at the S&P, we see that we did get a bit of a reversal trade off of our Monday level. So hopefully those of you that regularly watch the Daily Market Commentary were able to see that our Monday level, which was this little base rally that we had talked about, did hold very well and got a really nice strong move away. Now, we then got a bit of a breakout setup, a little bit of basing, a nice little breakout up here. And it rallied up until the London Open. And then at the London Open, that's where we started to sell off. Frankly, not overly surprised that we saw a little bit of a sell-off. I frankly thought we would get a little bit bigger move, but we talked about a 2-to-1, take a 2-to-1 move on here, which is about what we got paid on this breakout. Because when we set a new all-time high, we typically then give a fairly quick pullback. So that means that I need to remove both of these levels, because they've both been traded into and, frankly, traded through. And as I look at this on a 4-hour chart, we definitely have that, that rollover look, but it's not really a rollover as of yet. I will say that if we get below here, that you could see then price come back down. And that's how we have to look for shorts in this kind of a market condition. Now, if you're so inclined, you actually do have a pretty decent reversal level right here from yesterday's open, but you'd have to take this as a confirmation entry because it's going against the big picture trend. All right, so this would be a 15-minute level confirmation entry as it's going against the big picture trend. So keep that one in mind for today. Aside from that, your breakout would be move this up just a little bit. Right through here, I think, is probably the best place to look. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can go below the Globex low, but then I think you might get a little bit of a rally and a little bit of bounce up from there. Looking over at the NASDAQ, so in our NASDAQ position, we had a really nice move off of our 15-minute level. Again, another good level that worked out really effectively. We then got a bounce off of here, and then a nice little 2-to-1 move before then the sell-off occurred. So NASDAQ also moved off the 15-minute level. Do me a favor, leave a comment down below. Let me know, were you able to catch any of those 15-minute levels off of our DMC from Monday? And if you were, hopefully you're able to take a little bit of coin to the bank. We've really done nothing in the overnights, all right? I mean, this is just snooze fest. Snooze fest in the overnight session of the NASDAQ. So with that snooze fest of the NASDAQ, I mean, you can certainly play the breakout above the Globex high, but then we've got some supply levels here on a smaller time frame that could act as a little bit of a Globex trap. I actually would tell you that I'd be interested in just kind of staying away from this one until I get a definitive trend, either to my level of demand down here, or we get another opportunity for a breakout above the high. Looking at crude oil. So we have this confirmation short of crude oil, and remember that this confirmation short was only for the daily time period. And lo and behold, we blew right to the top of it, which is why we use confirmations. So I'm going to remove that one altogether. Now, on the smaller time period, we had two levels worth taking a look at. The first being this 15-minute level, and this 15-minute level, we hit it and blew right through it. The hourly level actually gave us a pretty decent bounce off of this zone. And so now we're looking at the next opportunity if there is another pullback. And so on another pullback, I'd look to this area right here, primarily because this area was an area of resistance. Old resistance oftentimes acts as new support, and we could see a reversal back to this zone. I think that's a pretty good level for a retest. If we don't make it all the way back to there, I'm actually okay if you just get long above this candle's high with your stop below this pivot low on a candle-to-candle setup where I think that price have a chance to keep moving. And then last would be gold, and so gold bounced off of our demand level that we were taking a look at in here. Matter of fact, that shows up on the daily chart as well. Little wick over wick on the daily. We bounced off of it, but haven't gotten really much move away since the bounce, which is a little bit surprising, as I thought that we would get a decent amount of bounce off of that level for price to continue to trend a bit higher. So I'm still overall net bullish in gold, but if we break below this area, then that's going to change my bias right away for the longer term. On the smaller time period, we had a couple of decent levels that unfortunately didn't get retested. So now, if you want to take a breakdown here below of this area here in the overnight, the overnight low, I think that actually sets up pretty well for a breakdown trade. So those are our 4 major markets. Let's go ahead and take a look at our stock of the day. So for our stock of the day, I thought we would take a look at FANG stocks. And really, I do the FANG stocks, but then I certainly add in Amazon and Microsoft. So it's like FANG 'em. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Netflix. And looking at those, we can see what are our strongest and what are our weakest. And they're all here set up at hourly charts. And looking at Apple, Apple just gave us a little bit of a breakout and it's continuing to run a bit higher. Facebook also gave us a bit of it's actually sitting at an opportunity here for a potential breakout. So keep an eye on Facebook for today. Amazon's continuing its run up. Microsoft's continuing its run up. Google's kind of flat. And Netflix, actually, out of all those, is the weakest. So I want to pull Netflix up as the weakest. You can see it on the daily chart. The Netflix, surprisingly, is probably the weakest of them all. And look for price to potentially break down from here on Netflix. Apple had a pretty good move away on the daily chart above this little breakout area here. I think there's room for it to continue to go a bit higher. And then Facebook also just gave us a potential for a breakout in through here, although yesterday was kind of a strong reversal candlestick, so at least wait till we get higher than yesterday's high. But those are really, I like to show those just to see what are they doing relative to the market. And you can see that as the market has slowing momentum, so too do a number of these stocks. I mean, take a look at Google as it is, rallied up and now it's just kind of gone sideways. That's oftentimes going to be a sign for a rollover. But once again, we're not taking a rollover on a supply level. If I'm going to take a rollover, it's going to have to be on a bit of a breakdown. And the S&P is giving me the right setup for that right through here. So that's all I have for today, everybody. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Remember that tomorrow is our live trade room. So if you're a Traders Army member, let's do our live trade room tomorrow morning. If you have any questions, please go to tradersarmy.com. Send us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. Until tomorrow, I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Hey, thanks for joining us. If you like what we do, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way the computers know that you're actually alive and really care. And go to tradersarmy.com today to learn a bit more. And if you want to see some of our other videos, click here in the box.